even tell if I like this person. I can't even tell if I'm gonna screw it up because I'm scared. I don't wanna ruin shit up. I don't wanna ruin stuff up. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't wanna ruin any of this. I don't wanna mess things up. I don't wanna ruin stuff. I don't wanna screw it up. I don't wanna mess it up. Yeah, I'm so confused. I'm afraid that I'll fail. I'm afraid that I'll screw it up. I'm afraid that I'll screw it up. I'm afraid that I'll mess it up. I'm afraid I'll fuck it up. I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin my life. I'm afraid that I'm gonna lose my degree. I'm afraid I'm gonna be a fucking failure. I'm so confused. I'm so fucking confused. I'm so confused. You know. I don't know why this girl likes me. I don't understand why I really don't. I don't understand why she likes me. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't need love in my life. I don't need love in my life. I don't need this shit. I don't need this. I don't need this. I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm afraid I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm afraid I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose it. I'm afraid I'm gonna screw it. I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin it. I'm afraid I'm gonna do all this. I'm afraid that I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm afraid that I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm afraid that I'm gonna do all that. I'm afraid that I'm gonna lose you. I'm so confused, yeah. I'm so confused, yeah. I'm afraid that I'm going to ruin it, yeah.